Hey gang, just have a few things I wanted to share with you before heading into the weekend. First, just some information. Um, we are going to be handing out a card at the end of the service of this Stranger Things, and so if the greeting team can just have a few people who are willing to stand just at the doors as people leaving, either the greeting team or the ushering team, we can figure that out on Sunday, whichever one seems easiest. But we're just going to be having these little cards as people leave. We're going to be handing out. The second big thing especially for the ushering team, just with CR and student ministries coming over on Wednesday and Friday nights at East, there may be more times where the seats are kind of moved around a little bit if they get pushed or they get moved in some sort of way, or the seat backs are kind of messed up, or just double checking to make sure everything is reset before we open the doors for the 9 a.m. service. That just may be happening a little more often now that we are sharing that with two different ministries throughout the week, which I'm very excited about, truthfully, because now the East location is a lot easier location. It's a lot more central, true to a lot of where people live, and so it seems like it's actually a lot more convenient for people, and the space is really ideal also. And so we're very happy to be sharing our space. We just want to be aware they're going to do everything they can to clean up and reset when they're done. But just since they don't see it every week and we do, we'll have to double check. Another big thing, just when it comes to talking about, we're talking about recruiting and volunteering and serving and why we do all of that. If you do see people this weekend that you know have served with you before, or you recognize them and you just haven't seen them for a while or anything like that, be willing to at least go up and see how they're doing. Be willing to go and just engage in that conversation again. One of the things that happens, it seems to happen all the time, just in churches in general, is somebody who's a high capacity leader or a volunteer of any sort who steps away for a little while. Then they come back and they feel like nobody cares. They feel like they weren't recognized. They feel like it's completely different. I was actually talking with a volunteer this week who told me they were gone for a big chunk of the summer and then apparently came back, which I had no idea. And what he told me was he came back once and nobody said anything to him. And so he didn't feel welcome and he felt like it was different and he hadn't been back since. Now, I will say, I kept asking questions and I found out multiple people had talked to him. It just didn't have the same feeling because he used to be that high energy volunteer. And now he's not. And so it felt different, but to him, it felt like nobody cared. And so being aware of that, we need to be the ones willing to go re-engage in conversation. So if there is somebody, I say that all, so if there is somebody that you know hasn't been serving for a while, or used to serve however long ago, and you see them, make sure to go up and just see how they're doing. Tell them, you're happy that they're still coming, that you're happy they're a part of our Fountain Springs family. Just re-engage in the conversation and let them know, hey, just because you don't serve with us doesn't mean we don't care. So be willing to continue to pursue that person past when they decide to not serve with us anymore. But talking about serving, that's the big vision for what we're going to be talking about for the next few weeks. And we're in this time where we want to start recruiting. And our numbers are a little down with volunteers, and so instantly we think, okay, how can we recruit? Let's start figuring out how we can best recruit. But the question we really want to be asking ourselves is why does it matter? Why is it important? We are excellent at getting people where they need to be at the time they need to be. We're excellent at if somebody wants to serve, at getting them connected. We are doing a great job of that. But we don't hear as much why do we do it? Why is serving matter to me? Why is it important? And so I want us to start having that conversations. For me, I was really excited because I thought, okay, I can share my story about this. This is why I do it, and this is why it matters to me. Truthfully, the first two times I started serving, I just did it because they needed help. But I learned within that, what I was really seeking was community. I loved the fact that there was a group of people that I could go and talk to every single week. There was a group of people that I knew that if I didn't know anybody else, I knew these people. And so while I did it, just because somebody asked me, I was like, sure, if you need help, I'll help. That's what got me to stick. was knowing there was a group of people that I was now a part of. And so that's why it was important to me. That's why it mattered to me. I didn't realize that until I started. But just be willing to share your story of why. Ask your volunteers why. Why do you serve? Why does it matter to you? We want them to start sharing that conversation with other people, because the more people who hear the why, the more they'll also realize, yeah, that's kind of something that I want. Because we don't want them to serve so we have more. Truthfully, we don't need more. We don't need numbers. We want people to be connected. We want people to be engaged in community. We know that this is what God wants. It's His best for us, and so that's how we're going to walk this out. But they need to understand the value of the why, and so we want to start talking about it. But thank you guys so much. I am excited for this upcoming weekend and to be there with you guys, and I will talk to you soon.